and welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be cooking an old-fashioned southern meal, trying to do it the cheapest way possible. We're going to be using the basic pinto beans and white rice. I'm going to show you how you can stay on a budget with the groceries as high as they are right now and use dried beans and just white rice and still make a good, easy dinner. Let's get started. And now when we buy our pinto beans, we usually buy maybe like a 5 to 6 pound pack. And I'll just keep them stored in these 1 gallon jars to keep them fresh. Or either we do have them in vacuum sealed jars also that we keep them that way. But the ones that I go straight for that I use most of the time, I just keep in this big jar and have them ready when we're ready to cook them. So the first thing you're wanting to do to your beans is we're going to pour them in a strainer and we're going to look our beans and get out any bad beans. I'm going to look the beans real good and get out any bad ones, broke ones, or even rocks. Make sure you look your beans. See, like little ones like that, you really don't want in your beans. And now, once you have your beans looked real good, we're going to rinse them. Now we're going to put them in this bigger bowl, and we're going to add a little water to them. And now a lot of times you'll let these soak overnight, but if you forget to let them soak, I'm going to show you a way that you can do it to speed up the cooking process if you don't let them soak overnight. Okay, we're going to be using this Dutch oven right here. This cast iron Dutch oven is what I call it anyway. And I'm just going to add my beans to my Dutch oven. Give them a little mix. And now we're going to cut them on. We're going to place them on like a medium high. And I'm going to bring them to a boil. Hey y'all, while we're just starting to let these beans come to a boil, look, in our pinto beans, we just found a black-eyed pea that was mixed in with those pintos. You never know what you'll find in your beans. You better look your beans, y'all. You might could even find a grub worm or two. So check them real good. We're going to go ahead and get that one out. Okay, we've almost got them up to a boil. And I'm going to show you the way you can do it if you don't pre-soak your beans. That will help them cook faster. But now you can just go ahead and leave them in here and start cooking them straight off. It just might take them about another probably 30 minutes or maybe close to 45 minutes longer. But if you do this method, it does speed up the cooking process of dried beans. Okay, now that our beans have come to a boil, we're going to cut the heat off and we're going to just let them sit there for around 30 minutes. Okay, we're going to now take the beans over to the sink and rinse them. We've let them sit there after we brought them to a boil for around 30 minutes. And now we're going to rinse them with cold water. Now we're going to place our beans back in our bowl. We're going to place our iron Dutch oven back on the stove. We're going to cut our heat on a medium low. Now we're going to dice up around 1/4 of white onion. And now we have some roasted garlic and butter. I'm going to take in around 2 cloves of this garlic. And now once we get all this cut up, we're going to add it all back to our Dutch oven. Now this is optional. I just have some leftover ham in the freezer, so I'm just going to add a little bit of diced up ham. You could add bacon. You could add just bacon grease if you had any. Even if you had like a little bit of sausage, you could add that to your beans. We're going to place our iron Dutch oven back on the stove. We're going to cut our heat on a medium low. We're going to add just a few red pepper flakes. And now that we have just a little bit of color on our onions, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our beans back. And now at this point, I'm going to just use water because I'm trying to show y'all how to cook these pinto beans on a budget. But now if you wanted to, you could add chicken broth or even beef broth, mostly chicken broth. But today I'm just sticking to water because I'm trying to cook these beans on a budget. And make them taste good. Now these right here, some people would have them as a side, and back years ago My grandparents would have had these, some rice, and maybe a piece of bread, and that would have been supper. So we're not going to add our salt yet or our black pepper. We're just going to let them cook, and we're going to let them cook on a medium high for around probably an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And once you get them back in the pot, go ahead now and look for any that you might think that you need to take out that might be floated to the top, or even just some skin that might have came off of a bean. If you see any of that, go ahead and take it out of your beans. All right, we're going to just leave them alone and let them do their cooking. Okay, the next thing we're going to be doing is cooking our rice. I'm going to measure out 1 cup of rice. Add our 1 cup of rice to our strainer. We're going to give it a rinse. We're going to let it sit there and drain while we get the skillet ready. Okay, for our rice, the first thing we're going to do is add some bacon grease. Not much. Probably a teaspoon. And we've got it on like a medium high, but not all the way up. And now we're just going to toast our rice just a little. Just to give it a light color. I guess rice and beans is 2 of the main staples that you should have in your pantry for hard times, or just for any time that you're wanting a side. But rice and beans is 2 of the main staples that we like to keep in our pantry. Okay, it's starting to get a little color to it, and I'm fixing to add my chopped up onion and bell pepper. So I'm going to add just a tiny bit more of our bacon grease. And now we've got just a little bit of onion and a little bit of bell pepper we're going to add to it. And you can see it's starting to get some color. Just make sure you don't have your heat up too high because you don't want to scorch it. You're just trying to get a little color to it. Alright, you can tell it's starting to turn like a little lightish color to it, like a little brownish tint to it, I guess you'd say. So we're going to go ahead now and we're going to add our 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. We're going to add salt, some black pepper, a little cumin, some paprika, keep it moving. And now we've got our garlic cloves that we roasted, and I'm going to add 2 garlic cloves to my rice and sort of give them a little chop. Ooh, that smells good. Now you can use minced garlic if you don't have fresh. And now we're going to add 2 cups of chicken broth to start with. I may even add a little more. And like if you're trying to do this on a real tight budget, you can make it with water. Now we're going to get in that tomato paste mixed in once it starts dissolving. And now I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of tomato powder. Or if you even had the tomato bouillon, you could use that. Okay, we're going to bring this to a boil. And once I get it to a good boil, we're going to put the lid on it, and then we're going to let that sit there. I'm going to cut the heat down on a low, and we're going to let our Mexican rice simmer for around probably 30 minutes. Beans are starting to boil. Our rice is boiling. We have all our tomato paste dissolved. We've got it to a good boil. So now we're going to go ahead and put a top on it. We'll give it one more stir. We're going to put our top on it. And now we're going to cut it down on a low, let it simmer for around 30 minutes, and do not open it. Okay, y'all, it's been 30 minutes, so now let's check our Mexican rice and see how it looks. Ooh, that's going to be good, y'all. Let's get something to fluff it with. We'll let that cool. We're waiting on our beans to finish cooking, and we're going to have some pinto beans with rice. And now we're going to add our salt. And some more black pepper. Okay, we've got our beans done. So now we're going to cut them off. And now we're going to top it with a little chow chow. And there you have a delicious meal using beans and rice. Okay, y'all, I hope you liked this video on how to make pinto beans and red Mexican rice. I hope y'all like this video, and if you do, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe if you hadn't already. Thanks for watching.